Welcome to another PC Sportscards BGS submission reveal. This is Josh with PC Sportscards. If you haven't watched any of our videos before, we do reveals from BGS, we do reveals from PSA, we do videos about what's going on in the hobby, what we're actually sending into the grading companies, and a lot of different informational stuff. And we just started doing shorts so you can get the quick version of a lot of this stuff. If you like that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to get alerts, and you'll get notified every single time we go live. This is a BGS order. It was $33 a card. We sent it in 10/27. They received it on Halloween, which is a Monday, and 1 week later it was complete. 3 days later it was back in our office, and now we're doing a video about the returns. So without further ado, we are going to get started on this reveal. So the first customer in this order sent in a lot of these older Upper Deck Legends and awesome cards to get graded, stuff you don't really see a lot. The cool thing I noticed with these, and I know they announced it, is that now if you don't get a 10 auto grade, BGS is not putting the auto grade on the card. So I think that's a good decision. I don't know how much it's going to change the value of the cards, but you're not going to see the lower auto grades anymore. I think that is pretty cool. Herschel Walker. So I'm sorry that it's been a while since we've done a reveal. I was out of town for a little bit, and I came home, and my wife had sent me a video, and my dog couldn't catch her breath. She actually needed, 5-year-old husky needed surgery on her larynx because she wasn't breathing properly. So this is actually my first time back in the office in over 2 weeks, and I wanted to get a couple videos up. So we are doing a BGS video today and another PSA video for tomorrow. Maybe today. I don't know when I'm going to post it. But got some really sweet cards. Have some cool topics to talk about today. 2 or 3 things that we're going to go over. Go through some cards that didn't get great grades to see why they didn't get those great grades. We got a Jack Lambert auto here. I'm actually a little surprised this got a 10 auto with those 2 streaks. Not a card that I would normally think would get a 10 auto, but I'll take it. Jack Ham. These are just cool cards that you never really see. Very cool. And I like that all the 10 auto tick slabs are on the front. They're all facing forward, so you don't have to worry about looking at the back of the card. Otto Graham, 9/5/10. Johnny Unitas, 8/5. Now, they still have auto grades. All of these cards all have auto grades. So if you were to go look up the pop, you would see what the auto grade is. It's just not on the card. So it's not a distraction, or in theory, the idea is that it won't long-term hurt the value of the card not getting that 10 auto. If you haven't submitted with us, this $33 a card submission is actually now down to $28 a card. The quoted time is 20 to 25 business days to return. We've been seeing them in 10 to 15 business days. Ozzy, a really tough card. Not generally a card that I would send in to get graded because of how thick it is, but this customer knew what they were looking for and got their gem. Yogi, Trevor Lawrence, die cut. It's a cool card. I'm sure this is low pop. All right, and we got our first topic of the day. We got Brady Select BGS 10. As you can see, this is one of the big things that I see, and a big value that I see in submitting to BGS right now, is that not a lot of people have. So not a lot of people have, but it's starting to gain a little bit more popularity again. They're getting cards back super fast. They're making deals with people like us so that we can get more cards into them and then sell them for them via our consignment services on eBay. And they're growing again. I think they're going to start taking more and more cards. But what you'll see here is that there's 10 of these graded by BGS and 130 already graded by PSA. There have actually been no BGS sales of this card. It's an inexpensive card, raw, $20. There was one that sold for like $8, but I wanted to use the $20 comp on there. PSA 9 sells for $48, and it looks like you get a lot of PSA 10s, which are about $150. So first of all, I think this is one of those cards, like we always say, you want to grade what somebody else will pay a premium for. Somebody will always pay a premium for a Brady card in a slab. It's just what they do, right? People pay premiums for those cards. On top of that, now you're looking at a Pop 1 BGS 10 when a PSA 10 sells for $157. So My thought process here when I'm looking at a card like this, I would look it over, and if I think it's got a shot at a BGS 10, I'm sending it to BGS for 28 bucks. I think that I might lose a little bit if I get a 9. A 9.5 I'll probably get in that $60 to $70 range, especially with very few of them out there. Maybe even 80 bucks. So for 28 plus 20, making money. And this 10 I think is going to go for $250 to $300. Might go a little bit less than that. I think 250 is really the number that this card would hit. If I just auction this, I think that's where it would go. That being said, it might not, but I think that's the right number. I think somebody's willing to pay it. Probably a card that I list fixed price for $350 or best offer and see what comes in. Regardless, the other option is sending it to PSA. You're still making money at the $18 level with PSA with getting a 9. So if you're not sure and it's borderline, maybe you go to PSA. I'm sure there's an opportunity with SGC. All the grading companies have an opportunity with a card like this because this is the right kind of card to grade. I think your highest upside, if you think you have a shot at getting a BGS 10 or a black label, which we'll see some later on in the submission, is going with BGS. Guys, we will always tell you what we think overall across any single grading company. Our job is not to tell you where to send your cards. What we want to do is we want to give you information. We want to teach you what we've learned and tell you how we would do things. I'm not going to say every card needs to go to BGS. I'm not going to say every card needs to go to PSA. I'm not going to say every card needs to go to SGC or any of the other companies. I don't know how long the other companies will be around for. I think these are the 3 best in the hobby. So that's where I would send the card. There's another one, an example. Edges, I don't know what the problem with the edges is. I haven't looked the card over. But to me, a card like this that ended up being 0.5 away, BGS is the right answer because you're probably going to get a PSA 9 on a card like that. So, Rudy Gobert Mojo. So, we want to be able to provide you with the ability to send these cards to the right grading company or whatever grading company you want to send them to. Our job is to give you the best service possible. 9 centering. See, that's way off center to me, but it's a 9. And so this is a good card to learn from, right? The problem with centering is when it's both directions, left, right, and top, bottom. This is only off left to right, so it's got a better shot at getting that 9 centering grade, even though it's not really centered well. Got a 9.5 Barkley. Thick cards like this, TJ Hawk, sent it in before he was traded. Got it back after he was traded. TJ Hawk. Thick cards like this, I would more likely send to BGS than PSA because I think I have a better shot at getting a 9.5. Again, another 9.5. Got a really cool card here. T-Mac Platinum Medallion. Number 94 of 100. Triple Mini, 9.5. International Italian Jordan, very rare. Not many of these graded. There's like under 20 of these graded altogether. All right, and now we're on to soccer. This customer, absolutely murdered this submission. All right, Ronaldo dime. All right, and our next topic, Messy Sapphire Black Label, perfect grade, BGS 10. Now, black labels are not easy to get. We got 2 in this order out of 104 cards. Overall, I think this is a relatively easy set to grade as long as you know where the flaws are in the cards. But look at PSA, 593 graded again, and only 30 graded with BGS. Opportunity if BGS picks up, right? $13 raw, $23 a 9, only $43 is a 10. So this is telling me I don't really have the best opportunity with PSA to grade this card. BGS 9.5, which 21 are that grade or higher, will get me $40. That was in October, so that probably is down to like $35. A BGS 10 sold 4 days ago on November 6th for $100, right? First of all, we see that more than double what a PSA 10 sells for. I would guess you can get $500+ for this black label if you run it. I would list it at $9.99 or best offer, and I would take the first offer over $600. I think it's a $500 card, so I would take more than that if I could get it. This is why people grade with BGS. They grade with BGS to get dimes and black labels because that's really where the profit is. And if you could break even and make money with 9.5s, you should make money with 9.5s in reality, right? Like if you're breaking even with 9.5s, that's sort of like breaking even with PSA 10s, and you shouldn't. Those are the wrong cards to submit. Messi is the right player to submit. Mbappe is the right player to submit. Mbappe dime, big profit, right? All these 9.5s are some profit. All the dimes are big profit. All the black labels are huge profit. That $13 card worth $33. So you're into that card for, call it $50 to round up, right? You're going to end up getting at least 10 times your money on that card. Black labels are rare. I'm not saying that every card's going to be a black label. It doesn't happen often. That's why they're so valuable, right? But if you know what you're looking for and you can pick these cards out, you can make big money grading and selling them. I'm not holding any of these cards. Look how many there are. Look at that pop report. As the pop report goes up, the demand for the card goes down. We know that. We've seen that on base cards. We've seen that on every single card. So what am I doing? I am selling these. If I can pick up these players raw and I know what I'm looking for when I'm evaluating them, I can make good money. How do you learn what to look for? Very easy. Buy the cards, send them in to get graded, and get your grades, take notes on your cards. If you want to go another route, look for inexpensive players. So look for people that graded the wrong guy and got the right grade. Buy those for under $10, crack them, and look them over, right? If you do that, you're still learning how to send cards in for grading. Look at all these Mbappes. Now, obviously, you can't sell all these Mbappes at the same time, right? This guy absolutely crushed this order. Dime. Dime. 9.5. I mean, this is insane. I knew there were a lot. There's like 30 Mbappes. 100. I mean, I should just do a video of BGS 10 Mbappes. But he got no black label Mbappes. He got the black label Messi, and then he got one other black label, which is coming up soon. Ronaldo, the right guy. Guys, remember the key. If you're doing this to make money and you're using it to speculate to make money, you need to get guys that somebody else is willing to pay a premium for in a graded slab. Don't worry about what you think of the guy. Worry about what somebody else. Are they the big name, right? And then go through it and look to see what company you're going to send it to. Every company has a reason to send it. I'm loving the turnaround. I'm loving the changes of the non-10 auto grades not being on the card. These have 10 on the back. I don't really like that. That's a sweet card. Acuna Sterling, 1 of 25. Soto, tough auto, right? So, and here's a great example of a card that you sent to BGS. Got an eye on the corners, right? So you look this card over. I see a little white up there. I see a little white down there. That's probably a PSA 9. In all reality, that this card is probably a PSA 9. But you knew that this kind of card can go to Beckett and get a 9.5. Because if one subgrade is off, it's not the end of the world, right? And now the advantage is if this auto was actually off the sticker instead of just to the end of the sticker, and you got a 9 auto, the 9 auto wouldn't be on the card. So that's even better also, right? So I think that was a great decision by BGS to take away the auto grade from cards. Now, again, they still grade the auto. They still grade the auto, but they just don't put it on the card. That's cool. Game worn jacket, game worn jacket, game worn jacket. Jim Thorpe. That's cool. Sweet Dr. J. And we're going to end on some good cards here. So, right now we're sending about 200 to 300 cards to BGS a week. I'd like to get that up. I think that with the fast returns, they're really showing that they care and they want to get them back. You get 7.5 corners here. There's like a little bend in this corner. That's why I got it. 9.5. Again, this is a pretty nice looking auto. It's got one pretty bad streak and a little streak there, but it's not a 10 auto, so there's no auto grade on the card. I like that. Evan Carter. Curtis Mead. Again, 9-corner gem. Every 9-corner gem, in my mind, that you made the right decision by sending it to BGS. And every dime, you made the right decision by sending it to BGS. So, if you guys are interested in submitting, PCSportscards.com as the video says. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be sending a lot of cards in and doing a lot more videos. Thanks, guys, for watching. And next one up will be a PSA reveal after this one. Have a good one.